Am I the asshole for having intercourse when I thought we were home alone? I, 25 male, and my wife, 26 female, moved back in with my parents about a year and a half ago. We have both been saving to move out on our own. They have both openly insisted that if we stayed until we were 40, they wouldn't mind, and said we're good company. Living with them has been very lovely with the exception of a few disagreements here and there, like with any roommates or your parents, and one very glaring problem. I'm just going to cut to the chase and get to the part where I think the following story isn't super crazy. My wife and I got married about 4 months after we moved in and have had sex a total of around 15 times. This has not been by choice. First, we always said we wouldn't have sex while they were home, just in case they were ever to hear anything. It is genuinely my worst fear to ever have my parents walk in on us or hear me and my wife doing it. Second, my libido is about as skittish as a stray cat. One wrong move or too much room to overthink what's happening and it's gone. I was raised religious and am still working through some of the intimacy-related trauma that it's given me. I often feel like I'm doing something wrong and suddenly feel too overwhelmed to continue. This means I prefer sex to be spontaneous with check-ins about consent during rather than a planned daytime event. However, when at least one of my parents is home on my wife and I's days off from work, it's nearly impossible. Hotels aren't something we can easily afford as often as we want, so that's out the window. And I'm not super comfortable with parking in a remote area and doing it there, as many people I've talked with have suggested LOL. Putting pressure on the one day off we have home alone hasn't worked because of my aforementioned issues, and I definitely don't want to do it while they're home. This is a recipe for having sex 15 times in a year and a half. Now to where the event I'm here for comes in. My wife and I were convinced we were home alone. My mom's car wasn't in the driveway, and my dad, unable to drive at the moment, wasn't in the house.